Hello, what a disaster of a day. It's a bit of a nightmare. Good morning everyone, how are we doing? I've just filmed a little clip for upcoming podcasts because I'm about to wrap these up and give them to my friends because I'm off out to brunch with them this morning. What time is it? I have time. And I'm going to fold this a bit better. I'm off out for brunch this morning, which is nice. Marie's in charge of the tiny one because then I need to come back and do work. So I won't be out super late. We're meeting at 10, so I'm hoping to be back 12:30ish at the latest. Marie's going to drop us in. One of my friends lives around the corner. And then... Goodness me. Hi. Yeah. Yes, and then I've got yarn to dye. I've written it all down. I've got to ship these mini skeins that I just piled in an IKEA bag. I need to split that into another IKEA bag because I won't physically be able to lift that. So I need to go to the post office and all of this fun stuff that I need to do. So, yes, I also probably should do some bead weaving. I was so tired yesterday. So tired that I didn't do any evening bead weaving. I don't know why I was so tired, but I was absolutely shattered. But anyway. I'm going to wrap up these. My baby ate peanut butter for the first time today. She loved it, but it does mean that I'm hyper aware of her right now. Anyway, she's fine. She's fine. Yay! Hi, chicken. That line. This line. You. Hello, I've returned from brunch. I forgot to film anything while I was there. Great, I'm doing a really good job of vlogging today. I also forgot that what I was meant to do before I went was put a bunch of yarn on to soak so I could come back and dye yarn immediately. I have not done that. I have not put any yarn on to soak, so I'm also home an hour later than I'd intended. I'm very thrown off. And I'm pretty sure the tiny one is teething because she's been a little grizzle bum. Bless her. So, but she didn't have any reaction to the peanut butter, so that is good. So, it's looking like it's coming over overcast. So, I'm going to split these parcels between two IKEA bags, head into town to the post office, come back, put yarn on to soak, bead weave, and then I might try and dye up yarn tomorrow. I thought, when I wrote out my plan for the week, I thought it was a bit ambitious, the amount I wanted to get done today, and it was, so that's okay. So, I've still not gone to the post office. The tape on these boxes, oh, it's a bit of a nightmare. Some of them it's raising up. So I'm adding 2 more strips of tape so they hopefully don't come undone in transit. But obviously that then slows things down. I'm not going to get half the things I want to get done today. I wanted to record a Patreon video today because I've actually got makeup on because I went out for brunch. But I don't know if that's going to happen, and it's annoying. It's annoying. It's already 2 o'clock. The sun's out. The sun is shining. Marie's got yoga tonight, and it's like, I mean, that's not an issue because hopefully the post office would have been closed by then, but it's just annoying. It's annoying that I've taken the time to do this and the tape hasn't stuck and I'm having to then tape it again, and it's like, do a job, make a job really, isn't it? And then I'm not going to get anything done today at all. Oh my god, what a palaver. It's now 23 minutes past 2 and it's come over overcast, but I've just finished taping up all the boxes and it's worked out quite well because I was able to split them between 2 bags. So now I need to go, I need to come back, see if Mary is home with the baby. If he's not home with the baby, I need to pump. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Because I am lopsided and uncomfortable without going into too much detail. And then, yeah, I'm going to scoot before it starts to rain. And then I just put a bunch of yarn on to soak. Although I can do that once the tiny one is in bed. But it's always much less motivating to go down the dye shed when it's dark outside. So, I don't know. Hello, what a disaster of a day. Not really disaster. That's me speaking hyperbole, being hyperbolic, if you will. Yes, it's not been the day that I'd envisioned and planned, but I have just filmed a Patreon Q&A, which is good, so I need to edit that. But I will put yarn on to soak, and I might just bead weave now. I started making cherries yesterday and I was so tired, so I might recommence making cherries. And then I want to try and make some tiny fish. I found a tutorial on YouTube making tiny fish using wire, and I think they use size 11 seed beads, but I have so many size 10 seed beads from when I worked at the bead shop, so I'm going to whip out my size 10 seed beads and my 0.2 or 0.3 millimeter wire, I can't remember which one, and get to beading, get to making fish, because I think they'll be cute. I mean, they might not be, and if they're not, then that's fine, but hopefully they will be. And hopefully Mariam and the tiny one will be back soon, because I'm starting to feel a bit lonely. I'll be completely honest. I need to start going to some baby groups and doing things, because I'm, yeah, starting to feel the effects of being on my own. Let's do some bead weaving, and I will see you tomorrow for some yarn dyeing. Good morning, happy Tuesday. It's raining. I did do some bead weaving. I made some cherries, delightful. And then we've had a slow morning. I woke up at 8 o'clock. It's now 9:45. I woke up at 8 o'clock. The baby woke up at 6, so Mary got up with her. And we all had porridge together, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. But I'm about to put a bunch of yarn on to soak. Don't fully know what I'm going to be dyeing, which is a bit risky. I might just try and pick some random colours from here. Are they in here? Have I got any colours in here, or are these all Advent colours? Oh no, I do have some. I've got Legends and Lattes. As you can see, I use these quite a lot. And then Stardew Valley, and also just some random ones that I dyed for exactly last year. And then I've got another book. This one's full. This book is full of recipes, so I can go through them. Some of them don't have names. What are these from? Are these Advent? I think these are Advent colours that I just hadn't gone back and written the names on, which is stupid. Don't do that. But I might just pick some of these and dye some of these and keep it easy breezy today. I also want to dye up some yarn. No, this is not the sentence I wanted to say. I also wanted to check my dye and see if I needed to order any more. So that is what I'm going to do. But first off, I've got boxes of yarn to, although that one's empty. I've got 2 boxes of yarn to unpack. So that is what I'm going to do now. With ambient rain noises. Delightful. Also no makeup today. What is this? Got under here and up here. Whatever. Good news, folks. Sparkle sock back in stock. Good job I didn't wait for it to come back in stock, because I emailed in January to say it was back. It was meant to be back in November. So thank you to everyone who was very patient with your Christmas Eve cast-ons and then accepted a different base. I really, really appreciate it because it was a bit of a nightmare, to say the least. So I'm just floofing and zip tying skeins, ready to tie them up. I use reusable zip ties if you've not been here long. These reusable zip ties, they're great. I need to wash them more often because they get dye on them sometimes and then the dye ends up on a skein and you're like, well, that has decided the colour that I'm putting on that skein. Yes. I have a bunch of random bases over there that I don't really use anymore. And I mean, I could sell them to other dyers who do use them. That's not a terrible idea. This is the suri. So soft. I want to move on to a new suri that has more meters. And then I might... You're a fly? You're a fly. Might get rid of my mohair. Yes. Because I think I prefer suri. But if I had... But this is only 300 and something meters per 50 grams, but now they have one that's 400 meters per 50 grams, so it's a bit more on par with the mohair I have. So I wouldn't have both, but I think I want to get rid of the mohair. That's not what I was saying though. One of the difficulties with only doing one market a year is if you do multiple markets throughout the year, you build up a show stock and then you're just kind of topping up the show stock after each show. So you're not starting from scratch every time. The issue I have is because I only do one show a year, I'm starting from scratch every time and I want my booth to look nice and full and I want it to look, I don't know, like I have yarn. And obviously I want to take stuff to sell stuff because otherwise there's no point in me doing the journey and such. So yes, that is, it's kind of irritating having to start from scratch. But if I did more shows, oh excuse me, I wouldn't have to make stitch markers from scratch. I would just top up what I already have. I'd know what would sell. It wouldn't be a guessing game, which it currently is for me, because I don't know what sells at the minute. I've been out of the game for a little bit, what with having a baby and all, so I don't really know what colours are popular, what sells well, and it's a little bit stressful, to say the least. And like, it's not a cheap, yarn shows aren't cheap to vend at. I don't know if you're aware, but if I'm comparing it to markets that Mario does, my husband, he's a baker, he doesn't have a shop front, he does markets. His are, what, maximum £100. Most of them are less than that, but yarn shows are significantly more expensive, and I understand why, because the space that you're hiring is more expensive. And yeah, so East Anglia Yarn Festival, please double check if I can actually say how much it is. I have a double booth, maybe that was an error, maybe I should have just got a single, but I applied while I was still pregnant. Did I? I applied when, no I didn't, I applied when she was freshly hatched in like August, so I was in a bit of a postpartum blur, and it's £400, so it's not insignificant money. Double check there's no spiders in these boxes. It's not an insignificant amount of money, so I have to make it worth my while doing. So I have, and obviously, not obviously, if you don't know the geography of England, this isn't obvious at all. It's like almost 3 hours away, so I can't stay at home for it. And so I've paid for the hotel opposite, and then obviously I have to pay for food and everything as well. So it's going to be at least £800, maybe ish, plus petrol. So yeah, probably around £800 to vend. So ideally, I kind of need to make that back and then some, because otherwise, you know, I go for the experience, I go for the socialising, I go to see my friends, I go to meet those of you who come along. That is all lovely and great. Also, it's quite good networking with other yarn dyers, and also people who haven't heard of Corner of Craft before. It gets them seeing what I do and gets eyes on my business, which is always nice. However, yeah, it's got to be somewhat fruitful. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. Luckily, so far, it has been worth it for me to do, which is why I go back. And hopefully this year will be no different. We shall see. We shall see. Hello. Teeny little update. Lunch has been had. Baby has been fed. Hasn't she? I came in. Yana's all on sick. I came in. She was having a mega nap. And then we had lunch. And then she was meant to go back to sleep at 1:45. So I was like, right, I'll transfer video files across because I need to edit a Q&A for Patreon. Because ideally that would go up today, because I was meant to post a video yesterday and I didn't. But it's fine. And then she got a bit grizzly, so I was like, maybe she's a bit peckish, maybe she wants some milk. So then I fed her. She fell asleep on me. She fell asleep like an hour and a half after she woke up. Needless to say, we have quite a high sleep needs child. But I've transferred the video files across thinking I would be able to edit it while she napped. But she napped on me because I hadn't expected her to fall asleep so soon after she woke up. So, bit of a pain, but at the same time, babies, what are you going to do? There's going to be a time I'm going to miss being nap trapped, so I'm embracing them. I've made a tiny fish. And it is so cute. I'm a bit obsessed with it. It's a pattern that I found on YouTube. I'll pop a link in the description box if I remember. That being the operative phrase. But it's got... Block my face and see if that helps. It's just this little derpy fish and I absolutely love it. Let me hold it with a pair of tweezers, because then you can see it a bit better. If I can actually get a grip of it. Ha ha ha, baby. There we go. I'll just hang it on the end like that. I'm having a hard time. But it's so cute. It's a little vaguely 3D fish. It's double-sided anyway. And it's got a little sequin. Little sequin for the eye. And then, yeah. I have a bunch of size 10 seed beads from when I worked at the bead shop, because they were discontinuing it. This is the tiny one's new noise that she does. She isn't... yes, it's just she's blowing raspberries. This is what she does. It's her new thing that she does. So, I say new. She stopped doing it for a while now. She's back to doing it. It's adorable. Yeah, it's a pattern that I found on YouTube and it's actually really, really fun. Really enjoy it. You make one side, you do the tail, and then you make the other side, and then you sort of stitch it back together down the side. It's a bit different to my normal stitch markers that I make, because for that I usually use like a nylon beading thread. I have so many rolls of this now. But this uses 0.2mm wire, sorry, and I'm partway through a second one. And you've got a little sequin for the eye, obviously, because you can't buy small amounts of sequins. I have an obnoxious amount of sequins. Not only that, but I have 2 of them. So if anyone wants any sequins, hit me up, because I only need 1 of these at most. So yeah, if you want some iridescent sequins, let me know, plead your case, and you can have them. And yeah, it uses wire instead. And I used to do this kind of beadwork when I was like a teenager, like an early teenager, maybe like 12, 13. I used to do this kind of beading. And I had a book, and I haven't got rid of it. I know I haven't got rid of it, but I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's up here or if it's down at mum and dad's, I suppose I could have a look on the bookshelf really. I don't know where it is. But I would do this kind of bead weaving and make little people, usually with a pearl for the head, and then I'd make arms, and it was great fun. I was definitely in secondary school. Definitely in secondary school, because I gave them to my friends. They weren't as interested as I was. But I've got a bunch of size 10 seed beads. The pattern calls for size 11s, and I was like, sure, I could use size 11s, or I could use some of these size 10s, which are a bit bigger, because there's so many of them that I have from when I used to do beading on a loom, and these were reduced. This 15 gram pack was 48p, and so I used to get them from the bead shop when I worked there, and just used to pick them up when I was on a shift. I'm like, sure. And then I've just got so many of them that are unused. I thought it was time to open some and use some. So I'm going to take some fish with me. I don't know how well they're going to sell. I love the fish. I love the little derpy fish. I think they're adorable, and think would be cute earrings, cute little necklace. The tiny one approves, and hopefully I need to do. I think that'd be a really cute stitch marker. Oh gosh, I'm throwing it around. I need to attach it onto the hardware, onto the findings, but imagine that. It's not focusing, but I just think it's really cute. And maybe that's just me, but I'm going to make a bunch of these anyway and hope other people also want them. A little derpy fish. I've only made one so far, one and a bit, because then the tiny one wanted to play. So we played a bit, didn't we? Practiced sitting, practiced rolling. She still can't roll onto her front at almost 7 months. The thing is, I know she can do it. She just has no inclination to do it, and whatever, that's fine. Anyway, Marius had to pop to work, which is why I'm in the house doing this and not dyeing yarn. He has to pop to work on a Tuesday. Tuesday's meant to be a work day for me, but he always has to go in for a couple of hours because he has to prep stuff for the weekend. And then next week, he's in all day Wednesday and Tuesday and Wednesday. He's always in all day Wednesday, but that is what's happening. And probably the next time you see me, I will be dyeing yarn. Right, 3 colourways dyed. I'll leave that on for usually a couple of hours. I need to get it up to temperature. Yeah, I need to get it up to temperature and then leave it a couple of hours. It's wet, everything is wet. That last one I just kind of, well, the last two. The first one I dyed with Spirit Guardians, and then I tried to have fun with neon speckles, thought it looked a little bit too Mardi Gras, so then put pink on. Not sure if that was an error. And then the last one, I just looked at Vicious Mockery, which is one of the first colourways I ever dyed, and decided to update it. We'll see. I kind of wish I'd put more speckles on, but there was quite a lot of water in it, so it wouldn't have really worked. I'd have to take it out, drain the water off, and put it back in the oven, which is completely doable, just not today. So heat that for a couple of hours, then I'll switch it off, and then I'll rinse them all out tomorrow. But it feels good to get started on East Anglia dyeing, because I'm getting a bit fraught about it. I'll be honest. Yeah. Hello, I forgot to round off the video yesterday. I went to Dance Fitness in the evening, made a couple more fish, and I'm watching Missing You on Netflix, the Harlan Coben, the latest one that came out. I have a couple of his books on the shelf that I need to read actually, but I've got one episode left. No spoilers, please. Just pop the kettle on. I'm going to sign off here. Just got back from Aldi. The tiny one is asleep. I've left her in the conservatory with the door open, so I don't have to try and get her out of her warm clothes. Try and keep her asleep. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've just been, like I said, I've been to Aldi. It's wool week, or it was. I may have missed the main bit. I bought some chenille yarn, baby yarn in cream, because I want to make Mabel the chicken. Oh, it's got a dirty mark on it, I hadn't spotted. I want to make Mabel the chicken. I also need some red, but they didn't have any red. I don't really want to have to buy a whole ball of red. This is 95 meters per 100 grams. But if anyone has any chenille red that I could buy like a bit off for the comb, that would be great. And yellow, I guess. I also need yellow. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being amazing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why. And subscribe if you want to see more from me. I post it every week. I also have a Patreon where you can get an extra video. It's up to you. No pressure either way. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go make my tea and enjoy it, hoping that the tiny one stays asleep a tiny piece longer. And I will see you all very soon in next week's video. Bye!